What's up, Guardians? I am your host, Phoenix, and welcome to NTAT, the place for all things RPG. Destiny 2 is wrapping up its 10-year story arc with the final shape set to launch in February of 2024. After watching their final shape reveal, a major question seems to go unanswered. What happens to Destiny 2 after this expansion? Now, we did get some information that there will be content following up the expansion that will cover a year. Also, they're changing how they're doing seasons. They're changing it to what they're calling episodes. In my opinion, this is just a restructuring and a renaming of the seasons, but it is what it is. But what happens once this year of content is done? Well, I wanted to make a video outlining in a what-if type setup of how Destiny will come to a terrible end. If, they release a new full expansion as Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has long since hit its stride and is now a 45-year-old running back moving from team to team each year because they refuse to retire. Between horrific connection issues to having vaulted content that we as the players have already paid for in order to make space on the game is unforgivable. It's long since time to design a new game from scratch to solve these issues. Destiny was never meant to be an MMO, and the infrastructure doesn't support it. With the ending of the Light and Darkness saga, it's time to rectify these sins, release a Destiny 3, or just a self-titled Destiny. If, they continue our current Guardians with their current classes and weapons. Destiny is a weird game. You have a shooter with hundreds upon hundreds of weapons and armor, and for some reason, we wanted to keep them all and have all of them viable in all activities, as well as having new items to collect and expect them to somehow be better than the things we've already had, but not have power creep. Yeah, it's a weird game. Most games know they can't go for 10 years without having any type of reset, but developers love to bring back old content and players can't stand the thought of not being able to have the gun that they've been using for the past 6 years go randomly. This is the reason the loot grind has been stale for so long, and this is the reason why it's time to completely move on from all of that, including the current subclasses. The final shape expansion is not giving us a new subclass as we expected, so there's no reason to hold on to what we've been using for the past 10 years any longer. There are so many ways to leave all that we've had behind, including having us create new heroes to start fresh. But with that needs to be new classes and new subclasses, and not variations of what we already have. No more Void, Arc, and Solar. If they want to use elements, let's go with Earth, Stone, and Metal, Water, or Wind. They could use blood, poison, or plant-based classes to mix it up. So many interesting subclasses can be used. If, they bring us back to the solar system with the current enemy types. I cannot tell you how unimpressed I am to face the Cabal, Vex, Hive, and the Fallen. Each having their own variations with different weapons and abilities, but after 10 years somehow are indistinguishable from each other. One of the most depressing moments during the final shape expansion reveal is that there are no new enemy races to face off against. So, if they don't want to see Destiny die a slow death, they cannot begin a brand new expansion on February 2025 with a new story from the Vex. We are burnt out and done with them after the story wraps up. If, they don't figure out how to give Destiny a new feel. A great example of a franchise that ended on a great note and then continued their journey but feels completely different but with the same heart is the God of War series. The last two entries in the series completely changed how the game is played. The perspective from the pullback camera to an over-the-shoulder. The motivations of the main character going from a wild god killer to a protective father. This was a great shift to give the franchise new legs. Destiny has been in need of this for a long time. So much so that they regularly take shots at themselves for repeating the same mechanics for years. They have to come up with new mechanics and find new ways to bring in players. Speaking of new players, Destiny 2 has the absolute worst new player experience of any game I've ever played in history. This is absolutely unforgivable. If they want to bring in new players, they have to start fresh. And finally, if they bring us to a new system with new planets and new enemies and new powers, but start reintroducing Destiny 1 and 2 weapons, armor for nostalgia reasons, the game will die. No, I don't mean that the player count will go down. I mean the game will put Hawkmoon to its temple and pull the trigger. I have hated seeing all of Destiny 1 come back into Destiny 2 as part of new content. There's nothing wrong with a little throwback, a little nod, but at this point, we have all paid for content that we already own from Destiny 1. As a bonus, I wanted to say if they put items like ghosts, sparrows, shaders, and the best armor sets in the cash shop with no way to earn these items in game like it should be prepared for this game to bite the dust. Alright Guardians, thank you for listening to my rant, and if you made it to the end of the video, pat yourself on the back, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to jump into the comment section. We love to hear your feedback. Don't forget, new video every Friday morning. We'll be there, you be there.